Hope you found this useful. Obviously, like I've said, in the next video, we'll actually come along and do some coloring, maybe even talk about how to incorporate them into a scene. Okay, so as you can see, the rocks have been installed, and what I ended up doing was just gluing them on with some liquid nails for projects, and then in some of the gaps, I decided to come along and fill it in with a little bit of plaster. Some of the areas are going to have a small rock fall forming. I'm still figuring all that out. There's going to be some plants growing there. Things for a later time and date. But the main thing right now is I just want to kind of take this from just sort of a drab color and make it a little something extra. So what I've done is I've taken these Dr. Martin's Bombay India inks that I picked up over at Hobby Lobby, and what I've done is I've mixed them in with some water inside of a solo cup, and on a little bit of the plaster cloth on here, I've gone ahead and checked that it's not going to be anything too insanely dark. Obviously, you can make things darker. You can't necessarily make them lighter again. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start off with some brown ink here. And the nice thing about plaster is it doesn't really mind if it gets damp. So I'm just going to brush this on, and probably should have pre-wet the plaster with a little bit of water, because this is literally soaking up any water that I put on it. But the nice thing about that is I think it'll make the stain a little more strong. All right, now that we're done with the brown, we're going to come along with a little bit of sepia tone, which is kind of like a, how would I say it, like a brown black mixture. So I'm just going to kind of brush that on there as well. The nice thing about this is you don't have to be super fanatical, nor do you kind of want to be. You intentionally want this to be somewhat blotchy and have some variation to it, like you would see in the real world. Now comes the most dangerous part, which is the black. Now obviously with this, it's very easy to go overboard and really make things go crazy, although the nice thing is the rocks that I'm modeling are somewhat darker. I still don't want to go insane, so I'm just going to take a very tiny amount on my brush and just kind of, okay, that's not too bad. Just almost dry brush it on there in a sense, and oh yeah. So pretty much in a nutshell, that's how I've come along and just quickly colored the rocks here. Now obviously I can always come back later and really color them in more if I want to, but for the moment I just wanted to get some kind of color on there, as I still have some work I need to do on the top here. There's still some gaps to fill. As I mentioned, there's still some work that needs to be done on this, but it's a good starting point for me to just get some color on there, kind of get an idea of where things are going to go. Because as I can tell you from experience, nothing on a model layout necessarily goes as you had planned, but there's also nothing wrong with that. I kind of like having the flexibility to go, you know what? Actually, I think this would look better, and that's a very good skill to have. So I might come back and change this. I might keep it. We'll see. But time will tell on all of that, and I'll see you guys here next time on Make It with Calvin with more who knows what. We'll see. See you guys later.